Artificial intelligence is turning up everywhere these days. It is writing emails, it is answering service calls, it is even writing computer code. And that has people wondering, is AI coming for my job? Which leads to another question. Which jobs in Maine are safe, which are not particularly, and how do you tell the difference? With us now to answer some of these questions and to sort out some of the hype from the reality is our tech guy, Rich Brooks from Flight New Media in Portland. So let's start with the big fear. Is AI really coming for our jobs?
Rob, there's some healthy debate going on. In fact, just this morning as I was preparing, a big letter came out from a bunch of prominent economists and policymakers and technologists, open letter to world leaders saying it's going to be so disruptive that we need to start putting policies into place. That being said, or maybe because of it, I believe that really what's going to happen is AI is going to transform the workforce. Throughout history, humans have created technologies that have destroyed jobs. But in the wake of those new inventions come new jobs, often safer and higher paying jobs. That's cold comfort if you've just been laid off from your job. But I think for the short term, what's really going to happen is parts of our job are going to be automated by AI and robots. That's going to lead to perhaps slower hires and maybe slower raises as well.
All right, let's dig into the specifics. Which jobs would you say are most at risk?
AI is really good at information and language. So some of those jobs are most at risk. Writers, editors, translators, but then also things like customer service reps and sales reps, even retail workers, some retail workers, cashiers can be at risk too. So in Maine, think about things like the call centers we have here. Also back office work, bookkeepers, all of those people might be at risk, including a lot of entry-level jobs, which is problematic because who gets those entry-level jobs is new college graduates, as if they didn't have enough challenges in today's workforce.
Yeah, all right. So that covers a lot of people and a lot of territory. Let's look at the other end of the spectrum. Which jobs right now look like they might be among the safest?
Right. So AI is not good at jobs that require you to be in person or hands-on or require a lot of judgment or trust. And the good news is that Maine has a lot of those kind of jobs in its workforce. So the number one employer in the state is healthcare. So nurses, CNAs, physical therapists, athletic trainers, those jobs are relatively safe. And then you've got the trades. So electricians, plumbers, we cannot hire those jobs fast enough.
Right.
So they're pretty safe. And then you throw in construction, like the people up at Bath Iron Works, and then hospitality jobs, especially frontline, those are safe too. So there are definitely a lot of jobs that are safe in today's economy, and we should be focusing on those.
So here's something that is on so many people's minds is what can you do to try to AI-proof your career?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if there's a way to absolutely protect it, but there's a line that's floating out there that goes something like, you're not going to lose your job to AI, you're going to lose your job to somebody who's using AI. So if somebody's worried about this, my first piece of advice is get comfortable with these tools. Use them personally, use them professionally, and see how they can enhance your jobs. I think that's one of the first things that we can do to really future-proof our jobs. The other thing is, and I know this from firsthand experience, is that AI can take somebody who's a complete beginner and raise them to a level of competence in no time. But then you take somebody who has real-world experience, who has expertise in the field, and you combine that with AI, and those people become unstoppable and very hard to replace. So my advice would be is really do get to understand these tools and how they can improve your performance, and you will become one of those people.
All right, let me ask you about another piece of advice, because you run a firm, Flight New Media, that uses AI. So what are you telling the members of your team, and what are you telling other businesses around Maine?
Right, so from day one, I told my team, no one here at Flight is going to lose their job because of AI. And I meant it. But in the very next breath, I said, but if we don't all figure this out together, we're all going to be out of a job. So I encourage my team to use AI, but we tend to use it more in the background, not on the customer-facing things. So we use it to sort through data, to double-check our work, to find patterns we might not have seen otherwise, so that we have more time to spend face-to-face with our clients, understanding their business and improving outcomes. And to the other business owners here in the state, I would say, look, most of us run small to medium-sized businesses, and we should lean into what that's all about. We should be investing in our frontline employees. We should be taking care of our customers and neighbors, and we should make sure that we're an integral part of the community. But at the same time, we need to recognize this transformative thing that's going on with artificial intelligence and train up our staff to create better outcomes and to be more competitive. We owe it to our employees and we owe it to our customers. As Uncle Ben said, with great power comes great responsibility.
Excellent advice, excellent analysis as usual. Rich Brooks from Flight New Media. Thank you so much, Rich.
Thank you, Rob.
Stay with us. We'll be back with more of 207 right after this.